Welcome back to the Deep Dive, where we take your source material and distill it into actionable intelligence. For those of you in business development, you know this feeling. The battle for a big contract is, well, it's rarely won in the proposal phase itself.
Right.
The truly strategic teams, the real masters of the game, they win before the request for proposal. The RFP is even out the door.
And that idea, winning pre-RFP, it can sound almost like a myth, can't it?
What?
But it's totally grounded in a formal, a structured methodology.
Okay.
So today, based on the material you shared, we're diving into the formal stage gate framework. It's essentially a roadmap for predictably maximizing your influence from day one. This isn't about charm or luck. It's a science.
It's pure strategic engineering, which, it always brings me back to the classics.
Yeah.
If you look at this through a military lens, we're really talking about achieving victory without firing a single shot.
Precisely. That's pure subtlety.
Yeah.
The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. And in business development terms, that's what we call shaping the solicitation.
Shaping the solicitation.
You're engineering the requirements to favor your own unique competitive advantages.
And that is our mission for you today. We're going to map out the entire customer journey, starting from when they first realize they even have a problem, the awareness stage, all the way through to sustained growth after the ink is dry on the contract. We'll show how this 6-stage framework guides your investment decisions, making sure every dollar spent is maximizing your odds.
If we look at the data and the sources, the first and, the most critical insight is this idea of a leverage curve. Your ability to influence what the customer wants, their whole acquisition strategy, it's strongest during the planning phase.
Right, when they're still just defining their problem and doing some market research.
Exactly. And that power, it just drops off a cliff the moment the process gets formal.
So once you see draft RFPs or, industry days, it's almost too late. You've got this tiny window to embed your advantage. So what are the big leverage areas that business developers are supposed to focus on?
Well, they focus on shaping 4 key elements. The first, and it's probably the most obvious, is the contract terms, conditions, clauses, and requirements.
Okay.
This just means making sure that specific features or capabilities that you have, and crucially that your competitors lack, become essential requirements in the final RFP.
So you're making your company's specialty the mandatory baseline. What's number 2?
The contract vehicle.
Yeah.
You want to steer the prospect towards something like a GSA schedule or a specific IDIQ where you're already established, or, where the pool of competitors is just naturally smaller.
Okay, and the third?
The third is about internal strategies, set-asides. This is all about aligning the requirement with your company's socioeconomic status. So if you're a woman-owned small business, a veteran-owned business, an 8A, you lean into that.
Right. And the fourth area sounds a bit more technical, a bit more manipulative, the contract type.
Oh, it absolutely is. It can be a death blow to a competitor. You're basically influencing the customer to pick a contract type that exposes your competitors to risk they just can't handle.
So for example,
Well, you might push for a cost reimbursement contract. That requires the seller to have audited, certified accounting systems. A lot of smaller competitors just can't meet that bar.
or I guess the other way around, if you're the only one with deep experience on a complex project, you could steer them to a fixed price contract on something high risk. You're betting your expertise against their potential for a huge cost overrun.
Exactly. And the ultimate goal, the grand slam of shaping, is influencing them to award a sole source contract. Just eliminate the competition entirely.
But that doesn't just happen. That requires a formal justification and approval, a J&A.
It does. But the J&A isn't the start of the influence. It's the end. It's the official recognition that your strategic engineering, month of it, actually worked.
So how does this all start? The framework breaks it down, right? Starting with stage 1, opportunity identification.
Stage 1 is pure intelligence gathering. The team's just scanning the art of the possible. They're looking at your own R&D, at geopolitical shifts, competitor innovations, public contract data.
The whole goal is just alignment at this point.
Yes, and that all funnels into the first checkpoint, the Gate 1 review. It's a quick check. Does this thing align with our big corporate plan? If yes, it gets logged in the CRM. That's it. It's just a marker.
Then we get to stage 2, opportunity assessment. This sounds like where the real work begins. You're building the capture strategy.
Now it gets serious. The goal here is getting to the crucial Gate 2 go-no-go investment decision.
And this is the first real gate because it's about money, right? The bid and proposal budget, the BMP.
Absolutely. If we say go, we're committing real time and resources. So the capture strategy has to be detailed. You need an account plan. Who's on the buying committee? What's their budget? What do they think they need?
And at the heart of that is the win strategy. And it has to be more than just wishful thinking.
It has to be analytical. It has to identify the customer's real needs, their values, and, an honest assessment of the probability that we can actually influence the final requirements.
So you need a real SWOT analysis here.
A real one, yeah. One that really differentiates between weaknesses you can control, like, say, a lack of past performance, and threats you can't, like a dominant competitor.
It sounds like Gate 2 isn't just about a decision, but about a plan. You're turning a spark of interest into a full-blown expedition.
That's a great way to put it. And if the decision at Gate 2 is a go, the opportunity gets its first official upgrade. It becomes an Information Qualified Lead, or IQL.
Which just means...
We're officially investing in gathering information.
Okay. That investment then launches us into what the material calls the strategy workshop, stage 3, solution development.
Right. And the focus here shifts dramatically. We're moving from just assessing to actively maneuvering and designing the solution.
And this is where we see the famous color teams start to emerge, the first one being about competitive intelligence.
The Black Hat team, their focus is 100% outward. They're like your counterintelligence unit. They analyze your main competitors, their strengths, their weaknesses, their likely solution, and its value. They're looking for the soft spots.
And finding those soft spots leads to creating what they call ghosting themes. What does that actually look like?
Okay, so ghosting themes are really shrewd. It's messaging you weave into all your communication, and eventually the proposal, that exploits a competitor's weakness without ever saying their name.
Give me an example.
Sure. Let's say your main competitor relies on big old legacy systems that are slow to integrate. Your ghosting theme isn't company X is slow. It's
something more like we prioritize agility and seamless integration through our native cloud architecture, which eliminates those integration delays you see with older systems.
exactly. You've highlighted a requirement, you've showcased your own strength, and you've taken a shot at the competitor all in one go.
That's strategic warfare. So while the Black Hat team is looking out, you've got the blue team looking in.
Yeah, the blue team is all about developing your own win themes to maximize your probability of win your PWIN. They're brainstorming the features and benefits that make your solution the most compelling one.
But their most critical job is the gap analysis.
That's it. They're holding your proposed solution up against all the requirements, the ones you know, the ones you don't, the ones that are still fuzzy, to see where you fall short.
And any gap they find gets flagged immediately.
It has to be. It's brought right to the Gate 3 review. The BD lead presents the new risks and asks for more B&P budget to close those gaps. Maybe you need to build a prototype or hire a key expert. That's a big financial decision.
And if that budget is approved, the opportunity status levels up again.
If Gate 3 is a go, it becomes a Marketing Qualified Lead, or MQL. We're past just gathering information. We've committed real investment to shaping the market and building a solution.
Which brings us to stage 4, proposal planning. We're still pre-RFP here, but this is the last chance for that direct influence.
Exactly. The team is filling those capability gaps, but they're also still talking to the prospect, refining the solution, and trying to influence the final wording of the requirements before that RFP drops.
And the RFI, the request for information, is a key tool here, isn't it?
Oh, it's a golden opportunity. The customer thinks they're doing market research, but you should treat it as your best chance to keep shaping the solicitation. You can insert your win themes, your ghosting themes, and showcase your differentiators in a formal document.
So you're solidifying your preferred path in the prospect's mind.
Stage 4 ends when the RFP or RFQ finally gets released. The team immediately pivots. They tear it apart, looking for any new unexpected requirements or gaps.
Which all leads to the Gate 4 review.
A final check. Any new requirement that hurts your PWIN is disclosed, last-minute B&P changes are approved, and if you get a go here, it's huge. The opportunity is now a sales-accepted lead, or SL. The proposal marathon is on.
And that marathon is stage 5, proposal development. This is an intense, rapid-fire series of color team reviews. It sounds exhausting.
It runs on coffee and adrenaline. It kicks off with the pink team review. Their job is to resolve the final structural pieces, any last gaps, the final themes, the teaming agreements. This is also where you submit your formal Q&A to the prospect.
The absolute last chance to influence the terms.
The absolute last. After the structure's set, you get content scrutiny from the red team.
What's their mission?
The red team reviews the first full draft. They have 2 jobs. 1, make sure every single requirement is met. 2, Confirm that all your win themes and ghosting themes are in there and are working effectively. They spot weaknesses and brainstorm emergency fixes.
Then the numbers people step in.
That's the green team. They are 100% focused on costing. They're trying to maximize profit while staying competitive and figuring out that all-important price to win, or PTW.
Okay, and finally, the ultimate quality check, the one that can make or break the whole thing.
The gold team review. This is about a critical trifecta, right?
A trifecta that is absolutely non-negotiable. First, is the proposal compliant? Does it follow every single format, rule, page length, font, margins?
That's stuff that can get you thrown out before they even read page one.
Exactly. Second, is it credible? Is the technical solution accurate? And, more importantly, is it backed up by quantifiable proof points of past performance on projects of similar size and scope? And the third piece, which goes back to all that black and blue teamwork.
Is it compelling? Does it actually resonate with the prospect? Have we made sure all our differentiators, our win themes, our ghosting themes, are persuasive? The gold team has to sign off on all three before the white team does the final print, package, and delivery.
So the proposal goes out the door. Stage 5 transitions to the award phase. We're now waiting on things like competitive range determination, evaluation notices, and eventually a debrief.
And it doesn't matter what the outcome is, closed, lost, or closed won. The BD lead immediately has to shift to stage 6. Lessons learned.
You're always learning.
You have to. You get the team together, figure out what went right, what went wrong, and you present those findings at gate 6. That feedback loop is how you get better.
But if you win, the real long-term influence is just beginning in the administration phase.
Yes, the work is not over. It just pivots. The BD lead becomes the voice of the customer. They're constantly looking for unmet needs that could be upsells or cross-sells. They're collecting success stories to use as proof points for the next bid.
And this leads to the ultimate strategic goal, doesn't it?
It does. It's immediately pivoting to influence the customer's planning for the contract recompete. If you've managed that contract perfectly, delivered beyond expectations, solved problems, you've basically predetermined the outcome of the next bid. You ensure the requirements for the follow-on contract are so heavily based on your success that you have an almost insurmountable advantage.
So the stage gate process just starts all over again, but from a much, much stronger position.
Exactly. The foundation is already built for an easier win.
We've covered a ton of ground here, mapping this entire strategic journey. It really shows that that business development isn't just sales. It's a methodology built on risk reduction and systematic influence.
It is. And if we had to boil it all down, we can pull out our top 3 takeaways for every business developer listening.
Okay, number 1, the supremacy of pre-RFP influence.
Your real victory is achieved when you shape the solicitation across those 4 areas. The requirements, the vehicle, the set-asides, and the contract type before the customer even declares their intent. If you're ready for the RFP, you're already on defense.
Takeaway number 2, the stage gate framework is, at its core, a risk tool.
That whole 6-stage process, the IQL, MQL, SAL statuses, it's all about controlling your BMP budget. You reduce investment risk by only making big spends at those gates when you've analytically proven you have a strategic advantage and a high PWIN. It's all about disciplined investment.
And the final takeaway, number 3, success absolutely hinges on the rigor of your color team.
Yeah, these specialized reviews are not optional. You have to lean on your black hat team for real, actionable, competitive intelligence. That's where your ghosting themes come from. And you need the gold team to ensure that final proposal is rigorously compliant, credible, and compelling. If you rush those steps, you're just inviting failure.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? We've seen that the business development process doesn't end when the contract is signed. It just shifts its focus.
And the provocative thought we want to leave you with is this. The moment you get that closed won notification, your primary strategic objective has to pivot immediately. You need to start influencing the customer's planning for the next recompete on day 1.
Not in the last year of the contract.
If you wait that long, you've waited too long. You risk turning your next bid into a fight that you should have already won.
That is true strategic leadership. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into strategic contract development. We'll see you next time.